Hi, and welcome to Parent Ed Talk. I'm your host, Jamie Googans. Today, we're going to be talking about the styles of parenting and how that can affect us later in life. So, many of you have probably heard of the different parenting styles, but I'm just going to review them really quick. Authoritative. Authoritative would be the parent that allows their children to make some choices on their by themselves, but is also giving them rules and guidelines to follow. That's the kind of middle of the road. Authoritarian, which is the my way or the highway, you're going to do what I say kind of parenting. Some of us grew up with that one. And the last one is permissive, where you're allowing your children to pretty much make all the calls themselves. Well, I know we talk about how that affects our kids when they're children still, but how does that affect us later on in life? Well, it actually does a lot more than you might think. I'm sure if you take a minute and think back to your own childhood and how your own parents parented you, you might find that if you were parented one extreme way or the other, that you might have switched and parent your own children the opposite way. That's actually quite common. But there are some things about some of these parenting styles that can stick with you as a person for the rest of your life. And so we want to make sure that when we're raising our kids, that we're doing so in a way that's promoting them to be healthy and happy and well prepared for adult life, right? Well, the problem with the authoritarian parenting style is when you are constantly telling your kid it's my way and not allowing them the freedom to make choices, as they enter adulthood, they are still going to have issues making choices because you've never empowered them to make those choices themselves. So as they enter adulthood, if they're not rebelling against you outright, they're going to be probably really indecisive on making decisions without asking you, their parent, because you didn't empower them earlier in life to make some of those choices themselves, those littler choices that aren't quite as important. So when they grow into adulthood, they're going to have a really hard time because you didn't prepare them for making decisions, especially big decisions, life-changing ones. And that can be really, really hard as an adult when you haven't had any practice doing that your whole childhood. On the flip side, the permissive parenting style, you're allowing your kid to kind of call the shots, which can, oh, hey, freedom, that's great. The problem comes as they grow older and especially into adulthood. If you've never had rules for your kids and that they've had to follow, they're going to start to realize that there are rules in the world. There are laws, spoken rules, and there are unspoken rules in the way we interact with one another and how we behave in society. But if you've just allowed your child to do whatever throughout their childhood, you are going to end up with an entitled child, probably an entitled adult, who thinks that the rules don't apply to them. And that can get them in a lot of trouble. Not only like with the law, but just in general. That's not creating a happy, well-adjusted adult. So the best thing we can do, of course, is the middle of the ground, that authoritative style of parenting where we're being nurturing, we are setting limits with our kids, but we're also negotiating with them and teaching them how to make good choices so that when they become adults, they're able to be successful in society, because that's the point of parenting, isn't it? We want our kids to be happy and healthy and contributing members of society when they're adults. See you next time. Bye-bye.